Mm-hmm.
And welcome everyone to an exciting adventure on the energy that surrounds us. I'm your host, Michael, and tonight we have a very awesome show for you all. I have with me a returning guest who many of you recognize from many of my shows, but we also have a new guest joining us. And so I am super excited because both of them together have so many experiences to share with us. So I am going to stop rambling and stop, wasting some of the show time for everybody because I know you're more interested in them anyway. So I am going to turn it over to the amazing duo, the one, the only paranormal extraordinaires, Michelle and Lala.
Thank you. That was correct. Thank you. Okay, I'm Lala Bright.
I'm Michele Labigan.
She's my best friend for like 20 some years. And as you know, I am a psychic medium and experiencer. And oh God, now I gotta scoot in. Okay. All
Well,
right.
or I can do this way, and
Okay, that's fine. Let's do
Better.
there you go.
Thank you. Okay. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Would you like to tell us about yourself a little bit?
Well, I've been experiencing things since I was 8 years old. But it wasn't like seeing things or hearing things. It was more like feeling things. So where I used to live growing up, it felt like something was in my closet, always watching me. I could never explain it. Even going in the closet, like nothing was there. So that kind of got me into noticing more about the spiritual side of things, and I would go to friends' houses and feel things there. And it kind of weaned off as I was getting into my teenage years. And then she and I became friends, and it picked back up again real quick.
And shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
Pretty much. No, and we have experience. We've seen a craft together. Remember I told you about the craft we saw over Route 40 in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And we saw, and the helicopter was there with the spotlight, and we saw underneath of it, and was a bunch of pipes intertwined. She is the one that I was with.
Yeah.
And and for a couple of years she didn't remember at all, but recently she has. So that's
and that happened after working with another experiencer, and starting to have sort of like, I guess you would call them download type things. And all these memories started flooding back of when we were sitting in the car, and she was like, we have to go. And I'm like, why? And she's like, I have really bad anxiety. We have to go. And we started to kind of drive off the parking lot because we were sitting at Dunkin' Donuts getting our coffee.
As we do.
You could see underneath, there was no lights to the craft itself.
Black metal, yeah.
Yeah, and then when the helicopter was shining its light onto the underside, you could see all these intricate, like, long pipes intertwining with each other. And she was like, we have to go. And I'm like, okay. I wasn't going to argue with her because we were supposed to hang out longer. And she's like, I'll pick you up tomorrow. And she said she doesn't remember anything after that, after dropping me off.
I don't remember. Once we drove under it, I don't remember anything. And I asked her, I was like, well, what was I like? And she said I was quiet.
Very quiet.
So that's odd to me. I don't know what that's exactly about. If people have missing time, but they're still with someone, I don't understand what that is yet. But also with that craft, last year I interviewed a couple who have a podcast, a married couple, and they live on the East Coast too. And an hour after we had that experience, they had the same experience up north. And because I asked them, I said, well, what did it look like? And they said we only saw the underbelly of it, and they said it was the pipes. And I didn't say anything about pipes. And the husband heard them say for them to leave, and he got sick. He got physically ill. The wife didn't get sick, but she's the one that saw the detail of it. So I think that's interesting. Within an hour, they saw the same thing. So this thing was massive. It really was really big. I don't know what it was doing, but I thought that was amazing that out of all the people I could have interviewed, they saw what we saw.
Yeah.
A long time. It was 10 years ago, 8 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, it was like just before COVID and stuff like that.
Yep.
I love the synchronicity.
Yeah. It's interesting. So, do you know about what if someone has missing time, but they're next to somebody? What have you ever heard of that? Or is it just blocked out and not missing time?
I have, and I may have, and I have experience around it, to where there were 3 people in a vehicle and one was taken off somewhere to do something and then brought back. But to us, no time really had passed, but yet for that person, they felt like they were gone for a little while. And so, yeah, I guess I might as well say I was one of the 3 in the car, because I said we didn't feel it. It's like, yeah, I kind of let the cat out of the bag without meaning to.
No. So, well, why do you think they do that?
People get called to do things or do kind of different activities or missions, you could call it, or experiences, and there's no sense of time on the other realms like here. So they're like, we're getting together, so, and we want you to be here, so they'll bring you up, but they don't necessarily, stop in and go, hey, is this a good time for you?
Oh, speaking of
Can we
which,
have you now?
that reminds me, we have another thing together, the Virginia.
Oh, yeah. We were finishing a job, and we were coming back from Virginia into Washington. And we stopped at Wawa that was by where the big Ferris wheel is in D.C.
You stopped where?
Tyson's
Corner?
Yeah.
I think it's called. Like, you'll see the Ferris wheel in D.C. down near
Virginia.
Yeah.
Tyson's, Virginia, I think. Right.
Oh, I thought you said Wawa, and I was like, what?
I can go there all
We
the
did
time.
stop. That's where we were going. We were stopping at
Every
Wawa
20
to get
minutes.
something to drink and stuff because we had done a 3-hour gig. And
okay.
We work together.
And so she was like, okay, we can go. I'm ready to go. And we started to pull off the parking lot, and we started down 95 to come home. And it was kind of like we got turned around, and we ended up back in the parking lot we started at. And she's like, okay, I'm just going to put it in the GPS, and we're going to go from there. So she put it in the GPS, and somehow we ended up back in Baltimore in 15 minutes, and it should have taken us almost 2 hours.
It was the strangest thing. It just
didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I've had that. I've had a 45-minute drive seem like 5 minutes for me.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But even on the clock in the car, in the radio, it was only a 15-minute difference. It wasn't as though that 2 hours passed, and it just seemed like it was 15 minutes that passed. It was literally from the time we were on that parking lot till we hit Baltimore, it was 15 minutes.
So we don't know what
it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, we had no clue we didn't know anything about this kind of stuff yet. I mean, we had been having experiences, but we just didn't know what they were or why they were happening. So that of course, we didn't share it with anybody really until now, pretty much the past few years, really. So
I totally don't blame you, because the
community, you know,
we skipped 15 minutes.
We flew. We're magic, yeah. But it has
teleported.
Well, I guess so.
No, and it is something that it's hard to explain to people, and some people will be open to it and some won't. And so I'm glad, your somewhat first experience sharing it is with someone who has similar experience. So, it's a little more comfortable opening up and sharing it instead of having the guest on the other side going, yeah, right.
Or did that.
What was that like?
It was trippy.
Well, no, and then, we got back together recently, hanging out again, and we started waking up the same days with similar bruises and similar spots, with sometimes similar nightmares.
Yeah,
at times. But
I have a theory behind that.
Okay.
I'm not sure how aware of things Michelle is. I know, Lala, you'll get this right away.
Okay.
Soul family. So
yeah, definitely.
She's experiencing, because it's the same soul family. So who's visiting you is visiting her.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. We have a joke. I don't know if we can say. No, because we woke up with these strange 3 marks. Can I say something messed up? Of course I can. Okay. Anyway. We call them the 3-fingered bastard. It makes us feel better. Yeah. That's the joke. That's the one that comes to both of our houses.
Yeah.
Because it's always these 3 marks that
3 fingers like across.
So that's what we named it.
Are these the 3 that you showed me that one day?
No, that was on my. No, those were puncture marks on my back. Okay. Yeah, this was on my upper arm and
my upper arm, same side, right hand side for some reason, or on our thighs, the top parts of our thighs. 2 different houses, 2 different points of the night that it happened, but they're really deep, dark, purpley blue bruises that show up,
and they look like they've been there a while.
Yeah,
and then they go quickly, which is strange for me because if I have a natural bruise, I'll keep it for a long time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm looking something up because with my dyslexia, I don't want to say the wrong thing. So, okay, so since you're saying it's the right side, energetically, that is the masculine side. So that would be a masculine energy, which fits your story because you say him is the
it just started out as a joke. Yeah.
So it fits. And so it is a masculine energy is on the right side and feminine energy is on the left. And so what that goes to is in Reiki, I learned, like, if you have a blockage on, say, the right side, well, that means somebody in the on your side of the family, on the masculine side, is causing the blockage.
No.
Whatever the experience is. If it's on the left side, it's someone on the feminine part of the family is the root cause or the root of where this comes from. And so, in talking with it, and I know that sounds really weird to talk to a blockage, but that's what I was taught with Reiki.
Yeah.
Is you get the messages from it, and then it clears and moves on. And it's kind of interesting because who would ever think to ask a blockage a question?
Oh yeah. No, that makes sense because I heard that you're supposed to talk to the cells in your body and
to make them kind of regenerate themselves.
right, if you don't feel good or whatever, because they're aware and alive, and we're just not taught that. I believe that kind of stuff.
That's where most of your trauma is stored.
Right.
It's generationally handed down through yourself.
So I've recently come to learn something kind of interesting about past lives and our ancestors. And God, I'm not sure I want to say this because it's going to get me in so much trouble.
Say it.
I have become aware of from some spiritual beings, and it kind of resonates in a way, but I'm not sure how much I fully put into the theory. But they state our past lives and our ancestors are actually us on different timelines, different parallel timelines, because we live in a time frame where our past is now, our future is now, there's only now. So a past life is an aspect of you on another timeline. And so everyone in your ancestry line is actually you on another timeline. And so it's like, in the end, it's all you. Everything you're experiencing, every person you're coming across in these
Oh my God.
thoughts are parts of you. And it's like,
probably not a good thing.
Hell no. I'm about to smack myself.
and so when you were saying generational, it's like it I was like, yeah, we like to think about it being generational, but then some of that though is us doing to ourselves, and I'm not saying like our parents are versions of us. No.
Yeah.
It's I think there's a certain point to where like our grandparents and great grandparents, the people we were alive and knew, are obviously not part of us, but beyond that is where I think they're saying, yeah, that's where your aspects are. And so that's where, when we talk about generational now, I have to think, is it really generational, or is it just an aspect of us that's coming in and it's the way the mind will accept it by making it feel and look this way versus going, yeah, you did this, and so you need to look at it. It's like, I don't want to own that.
Oh my God.
It's generational.
It's not my fault. And Edna on the
oh my God
3 generations down did it.
Did I tell you about my dream about the Zulu people?
Which one?
Okay, well listen. I get dream messages sometimes, okay? And I didn't know what Zulu was or who Zulu was. And anyway, it was a tall, skinny man in a forest, and surrounding him was these really large orbs or plasma balls, whatever you want to call it. And there were creatures or something behind the bright plasma balls. And he talked to them. I was standing there, and he looked at them and said, "She doesn't know she is Zulu." And so I looked it up, and first I thought it said is Zulu, which is, I think, a language or something. Mm-hmm. But then I found
out, tribe in Africa.
Right, yeah. Zulu, yeah. And they believe in aliens and all kinds of stuff. And it's very interesting, and it's connected to
the Anunnaki and the Pleiadians.
Yeah.
I didn't know about
And
this, so
the
that's
Zulu have stories of existing before the moon was placed where it is, and they tell stories of how alien races moved to the moon into orbit where it is today. And so, yeah, they talk about it's so wild to read about how the moon was not here when they were here. It came after they were here.
that's interesting.
Kind of like a veil.
Well, now we have two moons. You know, I'm not making this up. You can Google it. Supposedly, it's going to be here for 100 years or so.
Oh yeah, they said that.
Yeah.
It comes from another planet.
So I believe that maybe
Yeah.
that wasn't there when they were around. But anyway, I'm talking about this because the ancestors, because of my mom's side, you know, there are ancestors from Africa. So maybe
Same.
it's linked. You know, they're trying to tell me something, obviously. But
Yeah, and the Zulus, man, they held the British for a while in history.
weren't they?
So,
Wasn't that about shaman or were they shamans too?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. And my dad did the Reiki and all that. By the way, she's certified in Reiki, in case anybody wanted to know that. She just got certified in Reiki. What is it? 1 or 2 or what?
One getting the second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that.
My little certificate thing.
Yeah.
And then for the meditation, trauma-informed meditation was up there too.
What's that?
Where you deal mostly with people with trauma
Uh,
and guide them through meditations. So kind of
hold on.
Help
Why
them
haven't
through
you
it.
done that with me?
No.
What the fuck?
okay.
I love how Michelle turns and explains it to Lala. 'Cause
Sorry.
Lala's like putting
just
it up
so
so
used to it,
Michelle
like-
can share it with the audience, and Michelle's like, forget the show. This is for you.
I'm offended because I have trauma. I could use some.
Well, to be fair,
healing.
she was the one who said, "And what does that entail?"
Yeah,
I'm
she
just-
just.
I'm so used to talking to her like
Yeah. She meant everybody.
everybody.
Well, we actually have a question in the chat room.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Is there a connection to Reiki and shamanism? In your opinions, Rainbow Flame Wizard is asking.
I think so.
It's all healing.
Yeah. In some way, shape, or form, they use the energy that's around them and herbs and things like that to help people and to move spirits on in both. It just depends.
What do you think, Michael?
So I would say they're actually hand in hand because I was taught Reiki to where when you are working on someone, you talk with them about what's blocking, what you're getting about what's the blockage, and it's kind of like a shaman session where you're doing shadow work on the table without realizing you're doing shadow work. And so I kind of view them as hand in hand, but the difference is with Reiki, someone is, using energy to bring up what's going on, where shamanism, you have what you want to work on, and they just focus on that. And where it goes from there, you could work on many things or one thing, but Reiki, it's the body is going, yeah, I know you don't want to talk about this, but guess what?
It's
We're
happening.
going to talk about this because you're out, I'm taking over.
I got a question about. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about, by the way. But I talked to you about this before. What do you know about sun gods? And does it have any links to? Well, I know it has links to Zulu people, but any links to? Do you think bloodlines at all?
You mean,
All the gods have links to bloodlines, and
Well, the sun god, though. Sun deity, I guess.
well, the sun deity is just Like, you could, look at Apollo. He's not the main god, but he's like a child of the main god. Well, and some will say he's a lesser of the gods because he's only the sun.
Mm.
But then you go to Egypt where Ra is like the sun god, but he is like one of the most important gods. And so it's, culturally speaking, kind of determines, where the focus of the people are. And in Egypt, the sun was a major part. That's where they got their mana or energy from. They knew about the sun and the solar energy.
Okay.
Greece, they, look to, Mount Olympus, and they focus more on weather and personal lives and other aspects. And so they don't pay as much attention to what the sun is doing. And so they made their god of the sun a little lesser of the gods. I mean, gods are still gods. I mean, let's be honest. We only now will say, I don't think in Egypt they would be like, oh, well, we're going to pray to the major god Ra. No, it was, we're praying to Ra.
Yep.
In Greece, we're praying to Apollo. Well, Apollo, they wouldn't say lesser god or main god. He was a god. But what's interesting, though, with Greece, a lot of people don't fully understand how this connection works, though. But Apollo is the sun god. He's also god of music. He also was the god of the Delphi Oracle. The oracle would say, I got messages from Apollo. Here's what you need to do. Here's what you need, here's what Apollo says for you. A lot of people don't realize that Delphi was connected to Apollo. And so it's the difference of, where the gods are either in control of life and we are at their whim, or, oh, these gods are intertwined with humans, and so, yeah, their everyday life just like we are. And this or this. And Spambot TV is saying they replaced Apollo with Jesus, which is somewhat true. And so it's hard to, answer like with one generality saying, yes, the gods, with the sun is this and this.
Hmm.
But in order to understand the gods, we have to look at, do you view them as in the gods were beings that were here and did this, or are you viewing the gods as, oh, the Anunnaki or an alien race that came here to help us, and that's where everything came down from?
Well, hold up. Do you think that maybe they're talking? The sun is just like an energetic plasma ball, and like the source, and that we're part of that, and that's what they consider a god, but it's something completely different. Not really a
Kind of
alien.
like fingers trailing
So
off into different things.
the sun. Okay, so
Are you impressed right now? First of all,
am I what?
Did you like that
I'm
question?
impressed.
Thank you. Somebody's. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you know me. I'm always impressed.
Good. Sorry.
So I recently, as in saying recently, last night did some hypnosis work, and some of it had to do with the sun.
Mhm.
And so this is going slightly off the topic, but the sun, we view it as this plasma ball that's heating the earth and is allowing life to be here because of the plasma that comes from it is feeding the planet, and we all gain knowledge and everything from it. Okay. Well, there also is the fact that if you want to go somewhere in time or another dimension, you go through the sun. It is also a gateway.
Okay.
Maybe.
And
It's possible. Probably why you see like the bright light when you do go into different dimensions.
We die.
Yeah.
yeah, and so the sun is way more than just heating the planet. When you look at like Egypt, for example, the ancient hieroglyphs, you see the sun disk, and then they had the manna underneath it feeding the pharaoh.
Yeah.
They're gaining knowledge from the sun. They're gaining, energy for themselves from the sun. So if you want to have a system where you are in control, what do? You cut off the sun. You block the importance of the sun.
Yep.
So what happened with science? The sun is no longer the center of the universe. Something else was replaced. And now it's, the earth doesn't go around the sun. It's following the sun in a spiral. And it's like, okay. It's like everything is being done to remove the importance of the sun.
Yeah.
And then we have, which I thought was kind of comical. If you remember, I think, was it in the late 80s? Oh, our sun is going to die.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I remember
Were
that.
the headlines. And then everyone like starts to panic and they're like, well, when? Well, in a few thousand years. We're like,
We're good.
why are you telling us this now? We don't care about what's happening in a few thousand years. But that's just it. They were trying to tell everybody, oh, the sun is going to disappear. So don't put your focus on the sun. Don't go out in the sun. Don't look at an eclipse. Don't look at,
Don't sun gaze.
Yeah, that was the biggest
Yeah.
for a while, was the sun gazing and being outside and making sure you get your vitamin D.
And now we all need vitamin D. I mean, I have to get like prescription vitamin D. My son
Same.
does. Everybody,
I grew up and I would be sitting on the bus and I would just stare out the window and watch the sun, and I would notice there was an energy that was moving either clockwise or counterclockwise around the sun. And so I would always look to see which one is it? Which way are we going today? Okay. And so, yeah, the sun has a whole lot more importance than I think people
Realize.
give credit for.
Yeah.
And so they're yeah, sorry, I'm like,
you're good.
half in thought and half reading the credits, the comments. Yes, we're already at the credits of the show, people. Aren't you so glad we had such a great show?
We did it.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
Rainbow Flame Wizard is asking back. He asked back, what do you know about mantis beings are actually solar beings living on another dimension on the sun, apparently for the good mostly?
That's you. I don't know. Go ahead.
I have never heard anything of them being malicious or not for the good. I don't know that they live on the sun, though. I think they live more possibly along the moon or that kind of situation. But I've never personally heard anything of them being at all in the sun. I mean, that would be kind of hard with it being a big ball of fire.
Well, and
Tell us, who knows?
an interesting thing about that too, I will say, in alignment with that, is the sun is how we heal.
Mm-hmm.
And so the mantis beans, blah, blah, mantis beans are healing beings. They're they're like almost viewed as the greatest healers
Yeah.
of the star seeds.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of, might make sense that they're solar beings, maybe, and that is their home. But someone's asking the gods ? I thought there was only one god.
Why is there
That
Why does the most healing alien have to be the ugliest, creepiest one?
Hey!
No offense to any mantis out there.
I like how you say that after the fact. After I've offended you. Oh, I don't mean to.
Yeah, no.
Well, but so let me put it to you in this aspect.
Mm.
Why do you think seeing a praying mantis is one of the ugliest creature or insects on the planet? I can think of several that are way worse looking.
I mean, I'd like it to have like a little halo around it and just like humanish looking or a glow and just feel comfortable. Not have prongs coming at me trying to heal me. You know, the little feet. No, I'm sorry. I got no pinchers and
Okay.
shit. I don't want to
Give you love.
eyes. Okay, well, they can
They
give me
want to
love
kiss
from
you
afar.
and they want to hug you. That's all.
So, Lala,
I like real ones, the little bugs. I don't want a 7-foot one in my bedroom hovering over me trying to kill me. No offense. Yes.
Lala,
Yes.
you know this is coming from my heart, but that is the funniest thing I have ever heard you say, because mantis beings are humanoid with mantis heads. So they're not sitting there healing you going like this. And so I'm like,
I get you.
I'm not quite so sure which mantis beings you've come across, but none of them I have ever seen are like
I just see
a
this.
7-foot praying mantis, you know.
All right. Well, I feel better. I guess if they're human hands, I'll just close my eyes. It's fine. Anyway,
Oh.
proceed. Sorry.
No, it's fine, and I'm just kind of looking through the chat room to see for questions before jumping on if there is. Oh, here's a good one. Spam Bot TV. Interesting name there. But they're saying, is every star also possibly a portal? That's a really good question, and not exactly sure
Me either.
I could answer that.
Well, listen. I think the star in my what I've experienced when I've seen a star. I was drawn to one star in particular in Pennsylvania. It was very bright, and as soon as I looked at it, it went into a circle, zigzagged, and disappeared. So it wasn't a star at all. I think it was a craft. I also there might be some stars. Obviously, there might be, but I think a lot of times they are crafts, and I think like when we saw the craft up close, it was hiding in a cloud. So I think now some clouds aren't really clouds. I think a lot of this world or realm is weird, pretend or created to cover up things.
Kind of like the simulation theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it could be a portal. I don't know. It could be.
Yeah, there are portals everywhere, and I found out today there are portals even in the ocean.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And so Renzo FDS, I'm just going to call you Ren if that's okay, says, always imagine a big clock in the sun. And then Spam is saying, I feel like the sun is different now too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
there
I
is
do.
a lot of talk about that.
Because when you look into the sun now, your eyes don't adjust as quickly as it used to when we were kids. Like, it takes a good 10, 15 minutes for the vision to not have that weird, like, halo.
Splashy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's burn. If I'm out there more than 15 minutes, I'll get freckles, and I don't.
And burns.
The plants are burnt. It's just weird, and I understand people say the ozone layer and this and that. I don't. I think it's something
different.
else. Yeah.
It even.
I think we shifted realms.
Yeah, and
There,
even
I'll
when you
just say.
take pictures on your phone of the sun, it doesn't come out the same way.
It looks like little
Like flat. It
LED,
kind of,
dude, LED bulbs or some shit.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of weird. I'm telling you, something's
Not right.
up.
Yeah.
I know that
Well,
sounds cool.
when I go in the sun for an hour, I actually start to darken now. I used to just turn red and burn, but now I actually can tan.
Well,
So
didn't China, and I mean this in a good way, like didn't China create a sun,
an artificial sun.
an artificial sun? So maybe,
To see if they could
I think
simulate
a lot of people have created
Right.
suns.
so maybe this is something.
that.
I don't know,
thing.
Yeah.
but something's different.
Spambot TV is saying Mantis are the programmers of our reality, according to the guy who saw the code in the laser.
I heard about the code
Yeah.
and laser. That's very interesting, and
Yeah.
I do believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are technologically advanced, but that doesn't mean they can't be healers. And
No.
Ren is saying NASA hides its true color, really, of the sun. And says, I think there is a portal inside the sun, really, and a clock. I haven't heard about a clock in the sun.
Yeah, me either.
Well, we have pictures of some very large round craft hooking up to the sun as if it were a gas station getting
Yeah.
I mean, so something's going
It's
on.
definitely there. It's
Yeah.
That was a long
And
time ago.
Rainbow says there is portals in our bodies,
I
and
think
yes,
I'm-
there are.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And Spambot is saying, tell us about the mantis you have seen. Well,
You. I didn't. He did. They know I don't like bugs.
Michelle saw some too.
Yeah, I have. It but the one that I had seen was only about 6 foot tall, and I didn't really see what she's talking about as far as like it having the mandibles and things like that. It almost looked more human than mantis, and it wasn't there to be intimidating or anything like that. I honestly think it was there to help heal, because it was around the time that I had surgery, and I didn't think anything was going to help the pain, and the medicine wasn't helping. And then I was doing meditation, and I had seen what I assume is a mantis being, and after that, it was like a lot of that pain dissipated and went away. So
Yeah, I kind of can agree with that. I don't know how tall the mantis beings that I've seen are. I don't get hung up in like saying, oh, they're 9 feet tall or 8 feet tall or 20 feet tall. I just look and I'm like, okay, there's a mantis in front of me. So, what are we working on? And I've had times where somebody will say to me, I have this issue. Can you do Reiki energy and help heal? And I'm like, yeah. And I get a scan and I'm like, wow, I'm not wanting to say like a really bad pain, or there's something there that's really deep and intertwined into the system. And so I'm like, hey, I'm going to need some help with this. Hey, Raft, can you, send some healing angels to help? And yes, I see Michelle laughing because, yes, I do call Archangel Raphael Raft.
oh, Yeah,
She,
I'm with
she
you.
likes angels.
yeah, I'm good with it.
And I'll even sometimes call in the mantis and saying, hey, there's this, can you help work and get this out? And, what can we do for this? And so I feel like sometimes we don't want to trust ourselves of who is here, who isn't,
Right.
until somebody tells us, oh, this is, what this is. And then you're like, oh, that's what I saw. Okay, now I feel more comfortable
Mhm.
because somebody else has, this and they're talking about it. So it's okay.
Yeah, it's
But,
intimidating when you're not really sure because you don't want to sound crazy.
oh, yeah.
And some of it does sound crazy. And
Yep.
even when her and I started talking again, I was like, I know this is going to sound nuts, but this is what happened. And she's like, no, you're not crazy. That's real. And I'm like, okay. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah. Spambot is saying some native tribes calls them ant people. They come and help and heal.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, Spambot, because there are ant people and there are mantis. So I don't know that the natives would call the mantis ant. So I haven't heard of that happening. So I'd be interesting to see, where those stories come from. And Ren is saying, I thought I was the only one that believed in Mantis. I'm so relieved I'm not alone. People think I'm weird.
No.
They're the weird ones. Well,
Weird.
no,
so here's something I like to point out to everyone. When we were growing up, and I'm not going ageism on anybody here, but at the time when, especially I was growing up, if you were to say I saw a human with an insect animal head, you were guaranteed a trip to the mental institute or a
Yep.
psychiatrist,
Yep.
straight jacket that, was not form fitted.
in
And
the
so
Mhm.
we didn't talk about it. You learned to keep it to yourself. Then, today, it's more in everyday vernacular to say I saw a mantis. And most people are like, oh, that's really cool. What was the experience like? There are still some that are like, oh, that's going to get you a free trip to the loony bin still. And so we're not 100% there yet, but it is a lot more accepted now than when we were growing up. And so there's a lot of stories to where people having families had family members who experienced meeting these beings, but it was never talked about because it was a shunned topic.
Yeah.
So a lot of experiences have been lost. And so that's where it's like, I think we're starting in today's world getting too hung up now and everybody having the right description because
Right.
everyone's experience is unique. They'll present themselves
Yeah.
to
Definitely.
someone
Yeah.
that's comfortable to them. And so Rainbow is saying mantis are a bit like dragons with their looks. Their looks are a veils in itself. If you can look through the looks, you receive their blessings in a way. Nah, I guess I could kind of see that, yeah.
kind of more like you're looking into their soul than what they actually look like.
Yeah, and oh, here's a topic that hasn't been talked about in a while.
No, what?
What do you think about the aliens in the Miami Mall? Could they have teleported there?
I don't think. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if they were real. I love conspiracies, so I'm going to go with yes. Because why the hell didn't they cover it up a little? I don't know. It was something. I don't know if it was aliens or if they were just trying to do that magic, like look over here and something else is actually happening. But something wasn't right about that whole situation. So
Yeah, there was too much confusion with the story because some were saying people got hurt and then others were saying nobody actually got hurt, and then there was, oh well, these things portaled in and then portaled out, and then there were some that said, oh, there were
Yeah.
people outside that were generating, holographic images, and so they were, holograms that walked in and walked out. And so
they could do that too.
I honestly, I couldn't tell you what was there and what wasn't there. I will say though, to me, the interesting thing, and Lala, knowing you'll be in total agreement with this, is if it was somebody creating a hologram or somebody playing a prank,
Mm-hmm.
you don't surround a building with 50 to 100.
Right.
In other words, the entire police force,
Right.
basically, around a building. Something else was going on.
Yeah.
But was it what they were saying it was? That's the question, is what really went on. And so many people have different stories, have different witnesses that saw different things. And so
And how
that's
come
one of
nobody?
those that
Go ahead.
I don't know if we'll ever know what really was there.
Well, listen. How come nobody had video of the fight if it was a fight? You know what I mean? Like
That's true, because,
people can
God,
believe everything now.
yeah, it's like, look at all the people who claim so and so did this to me. It's like there's 50 cameras pointed
Right.
at them and saying, here it is, look at the evidence.
Exactly. So I
Yeah,
don't know. I think something was up personally. So but if it was alien, I also think someone would have said something.
Yeah.
By now. So I think it was distraction.
With better proof.
I'm gonna go with
well,
distraction.
and here's the interesting thing. We have Project Blue Book, or Project Bluebeam, sorry. Project Bluebeam, where they have holograms that can create the image of Christ or create the image of alien ships and can make it look like an invasion or make it look like Christ is talking to us in the sky. So, could they make something appear in a mall to create mass hysteria? Absolutely. Did they do that? I don't know.
Yep.
It seems to me like, though, it would be an interesting way to, prove a point in concept.
Mhm.
And to say, yes, it does work. People will believe it. But then again, did they even need to do a proof of concept, or did they already prove it worked and that was just
Part of it.
something totally different and it just happened to look like? I don't know, but it's kind of one of those moments in history to where it's like, I don't know that we'll ever truly know, but look at all the talk and look at all the awareness that has come around it. Because here's the other thing about the mall aliens.
Mhm.
Nobody could actually describe what it looked like. Everybody had different descriptions. And so to me, I kind of was like, that has to be like a mental image that's being pulled up out of people's minds and projected into the space, because I get everyone's visual perceptions are different, but there was no similarities from what I was reading of the description of the aliens. So I was like, I don't care how different your perception is, there's
You're gonna see
gonna
the
be
same. Yeah.
some similarity.
Oh, real quick, we do have to end in a couple minutes. I gotta take her home, but I want to say also there are crisis actors, so
Yes.
that could be part of it.
Which would make sense. Is kind of what they did in a few other places for riots and stuff like that. So,
Oh yeah, there was a lot of deals where people would be looking at the footage and be like, "Hey, didn't that guy there die over here and now he's over here?" And
Yep.
so yeah, that's definitely true, but one thing I want to get on real quick before we end this, because it's something I'm curious your thoughts about, and that's the sky grid photos.
Oh shit. Okay, go ahead. Go.
that was
I love how you guys are in unison with that.
All right.
okay.
You want to do it?
It was taken on my birthday. So for my birthday, Lala was like, "Do you want to go and do ghost hunting and look for aliens?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" So we went to a place called Jerusalem Mills near where we live, and we were just in the field, minding our own business, kind of just looking at the sky, and a group of teenagers pulled up, and they were like, "Well, have you ever heard of like the legends around here?" And we were like, "Yeah, like the ghosts on the bridge and things like that." And they're like, "Yeah, what are you guys doing out here?" And so we were like, kind of doing the same thing.
I heard you.
Kind of doing the same thing, but we're also looking for like, see if there's any proof of aliens out here too. And the kids were like, they kind of laughed it off and they went about their way. So I was taking pictures of the sky, and it didn't look like anything at first. It just looked like stars. And so I started playing with the contrast on the phone, and that grid popped up. And no matter what I have tried, nothing else can recreate that. So I have other pictures that are from the same area, tried the same thing, didn't happen. It was just that one photo. And then there was one photo I think I sent that had like what looked like a beam of light that came down near the trees. Can't explain that either because it was pitch black. There was no lighting out there whatsoever that night. So
No, what's interesting is when I was in Arkansas doing a sky watching, which is kind of another name I think for CE5, except we're not laser pointing anything. But we, were looking out and it's pitch black. Well, I take a photo and it's like the night sky is really kind of more bluish than black. And I'm like, this is interesting. But there's all these black energy patterns going from the trees to the sky, or the sky to the trees. I don't know which way they were going, to be honest. But I was like, what is this? Because in my mind, I was like, if I was taking this with wet film, I could easily say, oh, I must have moved.
Yeah.
Something was there, and this is just an image glitch. No biggie. But there was nothing there, and this is digital, so it's like there is no shake, and it confuses the image. It photographs what it sees. And I would look to my left, and it's like I could see a light, but it wasn't like a really bright light. So I took some photos of it, and when I looked at my camera, or my phone, I can't remember which one I was using. It looked as if the sky was on fire over
Oh.
there. Like something exploded in the sky. It was like a fireball almost, like orangish, reddish. And it's pitch black night. And I'm like, I don't even really see this over there. What in the world? And the location of this place was they have accounts of running into Bigfoots. And so I was like, so starting to put a whole bunch of different experiences together. And I'm like, oh, so is this little piece of land in the middle of a dimensional area, and these little glitches that we're seeing are dimensional portals or dimensional energies interacting with our reality?
It's hard to tell.
Well, also in the grid, and well, I'll say this, and then we'll wrap it up real quick. But I'd love to come on again with us together with you if you would like that. But in the picture, there's 2 black circles and 2 white circles. I think they're portals, in my opinion, but I don't know. And out of one of the circles, there's something coming out of it.
Yeah, almost
Literally.
kind of like a vortex type of thing.
It's crazy. So I don't know. And someone emailed us, and they had a similar photo, but on their photo, it looked like there was also a face embedded in it.
Yeah,
a large face.
I had put the photo on a paranormal site, and somebody was like, "You're not crazy. I have a photo just like that from," and it was on their farm. But with their grid, the vortex things that were on each side, the black holes and then the white holes, it looked like it went up instead of to the sides, like the one in the photo that I had got. And she's like, you're truly not crazy. Like, these are out there, and don't listen to it, because I had people saying that's fake, it's AI generated, and I'm like, A, I'm not that computer savvy, and B, I have better things to do with my time than to mess with photos. So
yeah,
we had someone look over the photo that does know that stuff, and they said, no, this is not created, or it's not a accident with the camera, this is something else. So anyway, that was it.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Lala, my heart is laughing right now at your comment. If I'll have you back on, so I'm like, really? If?
She's like, can you make this happen?
We had a fun time, though. We did, and
it was less scary than I thought it was gonna be.
Very nice.
Thank
well,
you.
I'm glad to hear that, and of course, Lala knows she's always welcome, and
thank you.
On both of my shows. And so, Michelle, you are welcome anytime as well.
Thank you.
If you want to bring Lala along, you can, or if you want to fly solo, you can.
We'll keep her.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm just letting you know if she can't make it, you don't have to feel like you can't come on, because it's not a duo. It's welcome. Any way you guys want to come on is totally awesome with me, and I am so glad we got to do this. And it has been a while since got to hang out with Lala as well, and so always feels better after hanging out with her on shows.
No, thank you. As you should, by the way. Thank you.
Or as we say, you're welcome.
You're welcome. All right.
So, thank you. And actually, Lala, there is a new way that I end my shows.
Okay.
You haven't experienced this yet, so this is something you both get to experience for the same time.
Okay.
So, beware. I'm just making a joke about she put in her bio, beware Lala. So
no,
yeah.
We had this thing where we did unhinged bios, and she's like, "I'm sending this one." And I'm like,
I mean, it's probably true.
You should.
I enjoyed it. It was great fun. But okay, So here's my message to you both.
Mm.
From my heart and the heart of my shows to you, thank you for what you're doing for humanity. Thank you for what you're doing for the paranormal community and the disclosure community. And most importantly, thank you for being authentically you and shining your gifts and sharing your experiences with us.
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
That was very sweet.
It was
Thank
very
you.
nice.
And so, with that, follow along on my show, and because you never know when Lala and Michelle will be making their
Pop up.
next appearance. And Lala is well known to pop up last minute, as she is so kind and one of my favorite guests, because
No.
whenever I have a situation where a guest can't make it and I have short notice, Lala has many times messaged me and said, if I'm available, let me know. I will pop on. We can make a show happen. So,
You're my buddy.
thank you.
Absolutely. Anytime. I love hanging out.
So, thank you to the audience for your participation and everything. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And with that, I'm going to say good night to everyone and see you all on the next episode.